Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Faith Life Love with me, Bologi Steven, and I'm always so excited every week when I get to chat with you guys. You get to know me a little bit, I get to know you a little bit when you comment. So if you haven't commented before, come on, let me know you. So anyways guys, like you asked and I promised, I am bringing you some of my fourth trimester gist, because I just realized that everything cannot enter one video. It's already so much that I'm compressing, but I'm here for you guys. I am here for you guys, coming through with the fourth trimester gist. So anyways, I was in the hospital for about 4 nights, gave birth on a Thursday, was discharged on a Monday, and it was really, I want to say it was an amazing time. Not really. Because I still had some pains. I had to be taking drugs, injection, and all of that. But the good part was family. You guys already know about my family, my friends, my family. They kept coming. There was so much food that I couldn't eat so much of. People would bring pepper soup, they'll bring rice. My entire clan from my mom's side came. Like, they legit came to the hospital. It was an amazing time. We just gisted, laughed, and I was trying to get myself back, trying to hold my baby. The first time I breastfed was on Saturday. Milk came in thankfully on Sunday. So yeah, it was just all that time in the hospital. And then guess what, guys? Like me, I don't waste time. You know how we're always like, oh, mothers forget themselves. We're like, oh, our mothers did not take care. They always forgot themselves. Blah, blah, blah. My first experience was in the hospital. I'm telling you guys, I don't waste time. My first experience with forgetting yourself. Let me tell you guys what happened. So my milk just came in. I think it was on Sunday. My milk just came in, right? Like, I just started breastfeeding my baby. And so I think he was sleeping. And I got food to eat. I was eating, and he woke up, and he started to like make crying noises. He wanted food, obviously. So immediately, like, he just made the noise. I just dropped my food. I'm like, bring him, bring him, bring him. And my aunt and my mom were like, eat your food, like, at least eat something. And I'm like, no, but he's hungry. And my aunt said, see, you've already started. Look, it was so like instinctive. Like, I didn't think about it. I was just like, my baby is hungry, drop food, feed him. And my aunt was like, no, don't do that. My aunt and my mom, they had to caution me, like, this is how it starts from here if you don't pay attention to it. And I was really grateful that it started early, because at least, like, it dawned on me, like, these things are very subtle. And it also helped me to give grace to my mom and our mothers, right? So yeah, that was my first experience with the whole, forgetting yourself. So they just told me, you have to be good too, so that you can take care of your baby. So of course, I ate faster. I ate faster, ate a bit, and then I fed my baby. It's not like he was like bawling hungry. So yeah, that happened. On Monday, I was fine. Doctors had checked me. I was good to go. They had given my baby immunization, and they released me to go home. And when we got home, I came home with my aunt and my mom, and they came, immediately got to the house. Like, you know how this thing happens in films, like, you just see mothers, they just break into song and they're dancing. Guys, it's real. Like, they just got into the house and they just started dancing and singing in our tribe, and it was just really beautiful. It was funny, but it was beautiful. Like, I was just so grateful, because like, you can be like, oh, their own is too much, but legit, some people go to the hospitals and either the mother doesn't come back or the baby doesn't come back. So please, I was so grateful to have them dancing with my baby in their hand and me sitting down watching them. There was no complaint there.
Bebale yana Jesejina, bebale yana sokwejina. Hallelujah,
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So one of the major things that happened the first few days, my mom stayed with me for a few days. My aunt was around, but she would come weekends. My mom would go back home. My mom actually lives less than 10 minutes away from my house, which is super great. Like, see, this adulting, we're always like trying to run away from the parents. Yo, at some point you just realize that, look, let them stay close. You get why? So my mom's house is close by, and she still works. Like, our generation of mothers, it's not like their own generation where most of their mothers weren't working or all of that. Our mothers, most of them still work. So my mom still works. So even when she was here, sometimes she would have to go for meetings. She would have to be taking calls, but she was sleeping here. Weekends she would go home. My aunt would come and stay, and the help was really great, to be honest. It was everything. And they would always tell me to take it easy. They would remind me that you had a CS, you need to heal as well. You need to heal as well. I know it's the year or do. Like, as much as I wasn't trying to be like super mother, I was still trying to be like mother. Like, you understand what I mean? So, and then visitors would come, you'd have to sit. Obviously, I bled for a while, and I had the stitch, right? And I'm not supposed to sit for too long, especially because of the stitch and underwear. And I remember that there was about 2 times I sat for too long in a wrong position, and like the edges of the scar kind of like reopened. And my mom would tell me, like, just rest, like rest when you can. You have people helping you. Farabale, rest, So I had to like consciously tell myself, you don't have to do everything. You don't even have to do anything. Like, relax and be taken care of, and all of that. So that was quite interesting, because I would have thought that I wasn't the kind of, like, I'd have thought like, oh, if I had help, I would relax, like it would come naturally. But you just like want to take care of your baby, you just want to look at your baby, you just want to hold your baby. So I had to consciously dial it back, like consciously reminding myself that, look, this boy, you go carry him, which reminds me, never say never. If you're all this, oh, when I'm a mother I would never, just wait till you become. And not just with motherhood, really, I feel like we should be careful to never say never, right? For a lot of things, just wait, get there, and then know that, okay, this is what I did in the circumstance. So yeah, that happened. And also I had to like dial everything back and let my body heal. There was still a little, it wasn't pain, but you just some sensation. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm telling you guys my experience. Just some sensation around the wound, around the CS scar. And of course, even my body, like, I wasn't 100% myself. So I needed to let myself heal. I needed to eat a lot more because I was breastfeeding, right? So I needed to remind myself, you're breastfeeding, you have to eat. I remember sometimes I would wake up really faint, like really, really hungry, because you're breastfeeding. Not to talk of the sleepless nights, guys. I don't want to go into detail about sleepless nights, because we already know this now. That's the one thing you hear a lot, sleepless nights. I was grateful for times when my aunt would take him, like I would express milk and give to her, and she would take him all through the night, or my mom. Those times were really, really awesome. And they would bath him. Speaking of super woman, I think the first time I bathed him, he was like 3 weeks old or something. And see, guys, just don't overdo that superwoman thing, guys. Like, if you have help, receive help. Speaking of help, one thing I knew about myself, like, I'm 2 years into marriage, right? So we waited a bit to have a baby. Again, if you want to hear our reason why we waited and what it was like for us, comment below. Tell me you want to hear, and I'll let you guys do a video on that. But first, come to think of it, guys, have you subscribed? How about, guys? Subscribe now. Subscribe, like, click the notification. All right, back to my gist. I was saying, speaking of help, one thing I had always said was that I didn't have a help before I had my baby, right? Which was like a year and a half, right? We did everything ourselves. It was just me and my husband, right? So we did the cleaning, the cooking, everything was just between us. But I always said that once I have a baby, I'm getting a help, a living help. That's because I knew me and I knew what I could handle and what I would need. So I always encourage women, like, know your capability and don't kill yourself. If you can honestly get help, get help, because it would help you a lot. I know what it takes. Like, for example, now I do the night shift and my husband goes to work, so most times I get to sleep like between 6 and 10 a.m. and at those times my husband is preparing and goes to work. Baby is with my help. You get? So it's just really helpful, to be honest. You're not relegating your duties to another person. Hopefully you're not giving another person your child to raise, but you're just taking care of yourself as well. So ladies, if you can get help, please get help and don't kill yourself trying to do everything on your own. So now let me tell you something. The first time I went out was 3 weeks postpartum. It was my brother-in-law's proposal and I had helped to plan it and all of that. I needed to be there, man. And my aunt was at home, my mom was at home. So that was the first time my husband and I went out without Ethan. So this is a picture of us at the proposal. That's me. So I got there, and when I came back, like, I put pictures on my WhatsApp. I'm heading somewhere. And some people, as you saw the picture, right? And some people were like, see your tummy, or, just some comments. In fact, somebody messaged my husband to ask if I was pregnant again or something ridiculous like that. And just this past week, I put on my status about, like, body shaming and women with like, when a woman has a baby. Relatively, I've snapped back physically, right? But, like, we must always have grace for people. Don't always hit women with comments about their bodies, especially when they are pregnant or they have a baby. You don't know what they are going through. I've heard people, you can't please human beings, you cannot. So just read my book, Validation Junkie, and let the Lord free you, guys. Because honestly, link below on how to get the book. Link below. Yeah. But honestly, right? If you snap back quickly, wahala. If you don't snap back quickly, wahala. I have friends that people hold their tummy, literally hold their tummy and be like, your baby is already old. What? Do you understand? And me that I have snapped back, I hear comments like, you're not feeding your baby, or look at you already, you don't want to add weight, or don't be happy, when your second baby comes, this tummy will not go inside. Allow me to enjoy this one now, right? And I'm always like, who did this to us? Why are we so physical? And if you're a man here and you have a wife that has given birth, or you don't have a wife, like your wife hasn't given birth yet, please, please, please don't be a source of pressure to her. Compliment her without her seeking for it. It goes a long way. A lot of things happen to a woman's body from pregnancy, even minus pregnancy, just with hormones, right? Like my husband would say, being a woman is enough. So please, let's stop this whole body shaming comments because you feel like you're close to the person, so you have comments to give. Please miss us with those comments. Whether my tummy has gone in or not, miss me with your comments. Whether my friend's tummy has gone in or not, miss me. And don't go to A and compare A with B and say, can't you see your friend? What? Do you realize that this woman brought out a whole human being out of her, whether by CS or by vaginal birth? Please, as you can see, I'm very passionate about this, but I don't want to spend this. I wanted to actually do a separate video on this, but I just decided no, because I'll probably just be like shouting. I'll probably just be like shouting. People with unsolicited comments, like, legit, one woman actually told my friend, like a very close friend of mine, she was breastfeeding her child, and this woman came and was like, this baby's food is small, low. Are you sure she'll be okay? Basically, that my friend's breast is small, so the baby is not. receive grace, receive sense. May the Lord be with us. And if you know anybody like that, please send them this video. Send them this video. Even if they don't watch the whole thing, send them this part. Let them watch it. Let the Lord use me to speak to us. But yeah, that happened. You know, that was the first time I went out, and you know, I've dealt with so many things about my body. And I've heard some guys say, see how you have snapped back, oh man, you must touch my wife and give her your anointing. Man, I must bring my wife. And I'm always like, don't have that mentality. Don't ever. Because your wife will now give birth to a child for you, and you will now be comparing her with another person that in your sense has snapped back. You don't know the scars you don't see that I am going through. You don't know the times I break down and cry because I am overwhelmed. So please, let's just allow women grace to go through their process before, during, and after they have a baby. Let me drink water on that point and move on. So the highlight of my 4th trimester, honestly, has just been watching my son grow. Gosh. I saw this thing somewhere. This Nigerian actor put it up. If I find it, I'll put it on screen. And to be honest, like, I just look at this boy sometimes and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm so grateful to God. Like, just watching him grow. I've seen babies, but I'm like, it's so different when it's your baby. Watching him grow, you know that, like, last week he couldn't grab something and now he's grabbing, you know, new skills. Seeing his eyes grow. Like, first of all, he's focusing, then he's following you with his eyes, then you can see him recognize you with a smile, then you see him recognize you from a farther distance. It's just so amazing. That has been my highlight, and I'm so blessed. My baby is such a happy child. Oh my God, he has the cutest smile. And I'm not even just a biased mother, this is fact. If you've seen my son before, comment below that I'm not being a biased mother. This is fact. He's just a really happy, cheerful child. He just smiles a lot. He just brings a lot of joy. He's just amazing. And watching him grow has been my highlight. Like, looking at his personality in the little ways that it's already showing. So for example, you can see that this little man talks a lot. I don't know where he got it from. I don't know. Some people say it's from his mother. I'm not going to affirm. Like, he talks, he's just sitting there like, and he's legit having a conversation with you and laughing. You know, he's an active child. He's a happy child. He likes to smile. He likes to play, you know, and all of that. Just watching his personality. And then he's not very patient. Like, when he's hungry and he wants food now. You know, and it just reminds me of what the Bible says about Mary, the mother of Jesus. You know, she treasured things in her heart. And I want to encourage mothers, if you can journal, just journal. I told you guys before that I have this book where I write to my son. And I also have my own journal, right, where I write some things. Keep these things, keep memories, take a lot of pictures, keep it. Just watch your child, pray over. And then one thing I'm also learning, I'm learning and reading a lot. The things I see in him, like, I continue to pray it. So for example, I told you he smiles a lot, he brings a lot of joy. So I keep praying that, look, you would always bring joy around you. When you step into a place, you would always bring joy, you know. So it has just been a blessing to watch my son, watch him unravel, watch his personality, the little I can see from him. It's just been beautiful. And another thing, right, my son's name is Eitan, and Eitan means strong, and boy is he strong. Like, my baby is strong. And that taught me something else about names, right? Whatever name you're giving your child, like, be sure about it, because it will definitely follow them. But guys, it's not like it's been all roses and peaches. Oh my God, I have a baby, cute things. No, there has been, of course, challenging times, right? Like I said, sleepless nights is real. It is so real. There have been times I just broke down and cried because I was overwhelmed or I was tired. There have been times I've been worried about my baby once he had a cold, you know. Times when he's just fussy, he's just crying. Oh my God, circumcision. Boy moms, please, can we gather around and take a selfie? Yo, I didn't even know what to expect. And my mom was like, obviously, when she was having kids, the way they were circumcising was quite different. But like, I guess I kind of did good. But like when the ring started to fall off, I didn't know what to expect. So it was looking like a wound. And I was like panicking, like, oh my God, is this how it's supposed to look? Gosh, thankfully, all was well. So it hasn't been like all roses and peaches. There have been, really, really tiring times, but I'm just able to get through, and just really watching him grow has been the highlight of it. The ups, the downs, loving somebody in a way you didn't know you could, like just a totally different way, has been amazing. Now, the final gist I'll give you guys was my first event postpartum. This was 5 weeks postpartum, right? I had an event, and at first I was like, okay, should I go? Should I not go? Thankfully, my husband was like, okay, he would go with me. This is a picture from the event, right? And just when we were getting ready, all packed up to head out, my mom comes to visit. Oh Lord, heaven sent. So she stayed at home with the baby. I'm sure my husband was also happy because he got to rest and all of that, and my help as well. Of which, yes, so my help, like saying what you need, is so awesome, because like God will just channel things to work for your good. So the person helping me is no stranger. She's basically family, because she was in my parents' house while we were growing up as well, and left due to some reasons. And then she came back this year saying, she wanted a job as well, and just came to my mom first if my mom needed, before she like opens it up. And I'm like, yo, come. So if you need something, say it out, and things work out for good. God will work things out. So yeah, my first event, I went for it, and I'll be chatting my husband up like, hey, what's going on? How is he? And my husband's like, babe, relax, right? Like, relax, enjoy yourself. You deserve this, right? Like, you deserve to have some time off. You've tried and all of that. It's really good to have a supportive spouse, really. So yeah, that was the first event postpartum, right? And since then, like, I've had other outings, obviously. Had dinner, my our family friends, my godparents, kind of their 30th wedding anniversary, my friend's birthday. I'm putting some pictures here. Some we have gone with Ethan. Some others we drop him with the grandparents and we go, right? Because at the end of the day, what I've learned in my 3 months plus is you cannot lose yourself. And part of the ways you won't lose yourself is to do some things that are you. So like for me, it's doing some things that are not just being Peter's wife or being Ethan's mom, but being Bologi. So for example, guys, this recording is Bologi. I'll give you guys one short gist at the end of this video. You really need to hear it. Like, doing this video is Bologi. So like, it helps me to just feel alive, if I can put it that way. Helps my mental health, helps me to feel fulfilled a little more in another area. Not like I don't feel fulfilled being my son's mom, but not totally losing yourself. Finding things that are still you, that are still part of your calling and part of your assignment, and balancing it and doing it. Of course, you need to make sure your child is well settled first. There are events I've had to turn down, events I've had to insist on doing it online as against offline. There was one that would have involved me traveling, and when I was asked, okay, what would it take to have you come over here? I was like, look, I just had a baby. I'm not sure I can travel right now, because it would have been too much logistics. Did I want to go? Yes, of course, right? But these are some sacrifices. I remember coming back from that event. I went to the 5 weeks postpartum, right? And I was thinking to myself, gosh, Bologi, driving alone is now a luxury. Because I love to drive, and I love to drive alone. But right now, driving alone is a luxury. Like, before I go out, I have to get like diaper bag, all of that. Make sure somebody's at the back with him. So yeah, I'm still doing things that are Bologi, right? I still do things that are Bologi, take classes, teach. I taught at my friend's boot camp for teenagers. I taught public speaking and validation addiction and all of that. But I have to first of all make sure that my son is taken care of. Either he's coming with me or I'm leaving him with my mom. But either ways, he has to be taken care of first before I take up any assignments, And that's how we even won't get away. Oh. That's how we won't get away. We went for the relationship and marriage outreach hangout for the year. And we want to get away, whether or not I'll gist you guys about the getaway. I really don't know yet. Maybe, maybe not, right? But if I'm not gone, even though getting away with a 3-month-old is something else, because there's nothing as romantic as changing diapers together. But I mean, it was really helpful, the change of scene, being in a hotel, having food you didn't have to cook or think of, just spice things up a little, of course dynamics have changed, but you can still find your way around some things, if you know what I mean. But yeah, if we hadn't gone out, we wouldn't have gotten that opportunity to win it by raffle draw. So yeah, if you can, that whole seclusion of 3 months seclusion or whatever, let's question cultures and see what works. For example, naming your child must be 7 days. I did mine, I think it was like 9 days or so, because like, yeah, that was what worked for us. So let's question culture and anything that at the end of the day is not for the ultimate good of your family and yourself, and it's not something that is, a right according to scripture. So let's question it and not kill ourselves. Be flexible in this life, because you can't kill yourself. So yeah, the final word I would say is, in this 3 months, I've had times that I was just actually good. So my husband has this habit of asking me most times when he comes back from work, how are you? How are you today? And I found that there have been times that I really think, obviously not every time, or there are days that I'm not good, but there have been times I really think, and I am good, right? I know that there's postpartum depression. This is not to make light of all of these issues. There's postpartum depression. There are body changes that can wreck your mind. Things happen to people postpartum. But just to encourage somebody out there that you can actually still have really good times. Like when you are honestly good, you are honestly fine. It happens, guys. It's not all bad, right? And it's not all just the joy from your baby. There are times that you as an individual will also be good, and finding systems that make those times increase, like doing things that are you, not being selfish, right? But like I explained, you purposeful. Do you understand? Not losing yourself, still taking out time to take care of you, to do things for you, and all of that will keep you good. Receiving help when you need it will keep you good. So guys, that's mostly, that's part of the main gist of my 4th trimester. Obviously I couldn't say everything, but these are just some of the things I thought to share with you, and I thought that you could also learn from, most importantly. Now guys, let me tell you something. There's a point in this video as I was editing that, like, the video just stopped and I was just hearing audio. I wanted to go mad, because this is like basically already Friday morning when I'm recording this part. It's basically already Friday morning. I was editing and I was just like, what? And I was just sitting down in 90 editing and seeing that. And I had to go and wear wig again, reset up, put a little makeup, and come here. This is what I mean by finding things that are you. Because even when it's inconveniencing, you do it because you know that this is you and this is your assignment. So a little test to see who watched to the end, and who is observant. Can you pinpoint the point when the old video, the original video, stopped and this my new one of my new makeup and my today started? Can you? Let me hear in the comments. Anyways guys, thanks for joining in, thanks for coming, thanks for subscribing, thanks for sharing this video with somebody to encourage them or for them to learn 1 or 2 things. I can't wait to gist with you next week, and I have a surprise for you as well. Yes, so don't forget to come next week and subscribe and like and click the notification bell, because right here I love talking with you guys. Thank you guys. See you next week on Faith Life Love with Bulodi Steven. Not yet, almost done. Just trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. I'm done though. Okay. I can't believe I'm about to edit again. Whoosh.